I'm feeling low.
Hello, my lemon drops, and welcome back to the Lemonade Stand, or welcome if you are new. My name is Brianna, and I'm drinking not lemonade. I am a certified personal trainer, a big, huge biology nerd, and a registered dietitian to be. We are gathered here today for another installment of watching me critique and react to Beachbody workouts. I always try to make these videos educational for you as well as entertaining, but I think today's video is, there's a lot of teaching moments in today's video, so get comfortable. Before we proceed, if you love science-based health, wellness, and fitness education with some lulls and some dry sarcasm along the way, please hit that subscribe button and join the Lemonade Stand. I would seriously appreciate it. Without further ado, let's make lemonade. All right, friends, so first up, we have a Beachbody distributor doing an exercise that I actually don't hate. The issue I have is how she's executing it in her demonstration. So it looks like she's doing a compound kind of combination exercise here. It looks like a dumbbell Romanian deadlift with a dumbbell upright row. Now, when I was looking at this before, when I was working on the script, I thought Romanian deadlift, but now I'm kind of feeling like it's hard to tell because we only see the front. So she could be squatting. Now that I'm looking at it, she could be squatting, but we're gonna go with a Romanian deadlift and an upright row. Based on that information, from the angle we have, her RDL actually looks pretty good. My gripe is with her upright row. Those of you who are longtime viewers on this channel or have seen every episode of the series probably know what I'm about to say about her upright row. Too high. Going too high on an upright row is a common issue I see in inexperienced people. Going too high on upright rows can cause something called shoulder impingement. Because of this, upright rows are kind of a controversial exercise. I actually know of some trainers who don't even do them themselves and don't even have clients do them. I will occasionally do an upright row myself, but it's really at the trainer's discretion and really based on your own, your own physical capabilities. In general, you should definitely avoid them if you have a history of shoulder problems. If you choose to do upright rows, I can't stop you. But damn it, do them right. You don't need to go this high and you do not need super heavy weight. That is a great combination to destroy your shoulders. I've said this in the past, I'll say it again, I'll never stop saying it. You only need to go about boob height. Don't be a pervert. I will now demonstrate for you this same exercise, but with better form. Okay, so here I am. I've got a set of dumbbells in my hand. I'm doing the combination exercise of a Romanian deadlift or RDL combined with an upright row. And I'm holding pretty light weight here. I think those are just 10 pounders. So for the RDL, you want your feet about hips width apart, abdominals tight to keep your back straight. Do not ever let your back round out. You're gonna hinge at your hips, poke your butt out behind you and lower down until the dumbbells are at about mid-shin. For me, it's about mid-shin, but this does vary for some people, like depending on your height and how long your limbs are. Once you start feeling that stretch in your hamstring, use your glutes and your hamstrings to pull yourself up and clench your glutes at the top without locking out your knees. Then I'm going straight into my upright row. And this is pretty simple. Just observe that I am not going excessively high. I am going boob height, as I like to say. So this next one is interesting because it is a Beachbody coach from what I understand, but she's not demonstrating a Beachbody workout. I don't think it's a Beachbody workout. If it is, actually, you know what? If it is, I wouldn't be totally surprised. This is an example of a gripe that I have with fitness influencers in the fitness industry that I actually brought up in my video about fitness influencers in the fitness industry. Watch the video by all means, but I think the shorter answer to that question is yes. She's demonstrating an exercise that can be dangerous and in my opinion is also just kind of stupid. When you have a decent sized following, when you have any following, you put it out there, people are gonna listen to you and follow your lead. I said this in my video about it. As an influencer of any kind, content creator, whatever you want to call yourself. I don't really like the word influencer personally. Whatever you want to call yourself, if you have a lot of eyes on you, you have something of a responsibility to not endanger people's health and safety and well-being. And I think this exercise is all of that. Oh no, baby. Watching that hurt my shoulders. I like her shorts though, so at least that's good. Aside from demonstrating exercises and, demonstrating standard workouts, I think if you want to show off like your fitness abilities with some exercise that's kind of, a little bit out there and, kind of high risk, fine. But I think this is where a disclaimer in your description or your caption would come in handy. Protect yourself from lawsuits and whatnot. Like, I do that myself when I show you guys high-risk things. Like, when I show you guys my back bends, I add a thing in my story, and I'm like, respect your limitations, don't do this if you're not ready, blah, 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 that sort of thing. I don't recommend trying this. No. Let's do something else. I will now demonstrate for you anything else. So I'm going to show you a couple alternatives. Both are variations of a high plank. This first one is just a high plank with a shoulder tap. I might have showed you this one before. Super simple bodyweight exercise, just holding your high plank, alternating, tapping each shoulder. This next one, I kind of made it up off the top of my head, so I don't really know what to call it. I'm just holding the high plank position, keeping my abdominals tight, and one leg at a time, I'm tucking one knee up, then bringing it back, and then tapping it out. I like this. I may do it more. Next, we have another Beachbody coach who I believe is a top coach in the company. Not that that even really matters, honestly. For this one, though, I actually don't really have a critique on the exercise or the way she's doing it. I mean, I guess it is on the way she's doing it. Whether this is a Beachbody workout or not, there's something about this workout that I want to point out because I see a lot of people doing this and making this really common mistake in the gym. So, it looked like she was doing some shoulder training. And a super cute top, might I add. Did you guys see that exercise? The one where she had her arms bent at 90 degrees and she was kind of rotating her arm out? That's called an external rotation. The intent for external rotations is to train your shoulders. Now, something that I see all the time is people doing external rotations with a dumbbell. And I'll tell you why that's technically not correct. Why am I pointing with my pinky? When you're standing up and you're doing external rotations with a dumbbell, because of gravity, the weight's being pulled down. Because the weight is being pulled down, more of the work is actually being put on your bicep than it is on your shoulder. So often I see people in the gym doing external rotations with a dumbbell going like this, thinking they're training their shoulders, but actually you're putting more work on your biceps than anything. If you are training shoulders and want to do an external rotation, you need to make sure the weight is coming from the side of you. This can be achieved with a cable or a resistance band, and I will show you right now. Here is how to properly execute an external rotation. Okay, so here I am doing an external rotation. I am using a resistance band or resistance tube, I've also heard, with the handle on it. This is super simple exercise. Arm bent at 90 degrees and I'm pulling the weight out with external rotations. And then here is an example of me doing an internal rotation. You execute it the exact same way. The difference is that you're pulling the weight in toward you. This next exercise is absolutely berserk. It makes no sense. It is devoid of logic. I'm fairly certain it's from 9 Week Control Freak. I've seen it floating around the internet before, and she's using the control track. Alpha got perfectly set up for that shot. She's just sitting up there with her tongue sticking out. Baby, put your tongue back in your mouth. This friggin' dog. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm not quite sure what I just watched. This does not look overtly dangerous, but it is definitely stupid, in my opinion. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm also not sure what the target muscle group is here with this. Let's try to break this down. So she's starting off, looks like, I guess you start standing, and then she's doing a row. Okay, she's doing like the first half of a row, because then after that she goes into like a hug, and then she gets down on her knees, and then does a weird bowing down thing. Maybe Beachbody is teaching their distributors to worship the top of the pyramid. Stop it, Brianna. That is in poor taste. Yeah, so I don't know. Somebody made a comment a while back on one of these videos. They said that their theory for why Beachbody workouts are so crazy, they go overboard with so many of the workouts in using the equipment because they have to justify the fact that people have to buy the equipment for the program. Because the equipment, in my opinion, is overpriced. You can get something very similar to the control track from your house on Amazon. Anyway, I agree with what that person said. I think this is a good example of that. They're just trying to incorporate the equipment somehow. It made perfect sense for the row. Like, that was just about the only thing that was like a normal exercise, like the row. Yeah, you do rows with a resistance band. But then she like did this weird thing where she was, I don't know, practicing giving a hug or something. Then you get down on your knees and then you bow down. Like, what is that? I will now demonstrate something that's not stupid. Gotta figure something out. All right, so I'm showing you guys a couple exercises right now. This first one is a burpee, just a regular old burpee, but I added some toe taps to that high plank. This is super easy to execute body weight exercise. You don't need anything except yourself to do this. I would call this exercise high impact for sure, so definitely use caution, especially if you have musculoskeletal issues of the lower extremities. The next one is a wall sit, and I added an overhead raise, not using any weight, just my hands. You're welcome to add weight if you want to. I just don't recommend going super heavy. But I wanted to add an upper body element to make this kind of more full body. For the wall sit, you want to keep your legs bent at 90 degrees, no cheating. If you're standing too straight, then you're not getting the full benefits of that wall sit. So this next one is a Beachbody coach showing us her workout, and I hate her form. And I will tell you why I hate her form in a minute. So it looks like the exercise she is doing is what I would call an overhead squat. And based on the angle that we have here, which is the only angle we have, I see some issues with her form. This exercise is actually commonly used as a physical assessment. It's used to assess a client or patient's mobility, flexibility, and coordination. Based on how the person executes the movement, it can be indicative of muscular imbalances. If you work in physical therapy, are a personal trainer, or work in corrective exercise, then you are very familiar with this. With the overhead squat assessment, all you do is have the client hold their arms above their head. They're not holding anything in their hands. They just hold their arms above their head, and then you ask them to sit down in a squat to the best of their abilities. And then you have to have them repeat the movement and then check them out from all angles, front, back, side. And based on the observations that you make, you can determine quite a bit about someone's physical capabilities. I can't remember exactly what every single imperfection may mean as far as muscular imbalance, so I actually like to keep this chart handy with me. This was released by NASM, National Academy of Sports Medicine, and it basically tells you what every physical imbalance could potentially mean. Which muscles are overactive, which muscles are underactive, and it also offers some potential exercises to help improve these issues. At the top of it, it says CES, that means Corrective Exercise Specialist. I actually took that course through NASM a few years ago. I don't call myself a Corrective Exercise Specialist because it wasn't a certification course, it was more of an applications course. And by that I mean it was more like a course for people who work in the fitness industry but aren't quite in like physical therapy and corrective exercise. It's more to teach you how to apply it to your fitness practice in general. So I did take the online applications course, but I don't call myself, I'm not a corrective exercise specialist, but I still use what I learned in the course in my practice as a personal trainer. So as far as her, we only have the front angle here to see. And based on what she looks like in the front and based on what I can see, her squat is not terrible. She can probably stand and do some adjustments, but honestly, it's not the worst squat I've ever seen. The thing that I actually take issue with is her upper body. Her arms look like they're falling forward a little bit too much. And based on the chart, this could mean a few things, such as overactive lats. And the chart says she may benefit from some chest and lat stretching exercises. Obviously, you guys, again, I'm not a physical therapist. I'm not a corrective exercise specialist. This is just my very superficial observation based on this few second clip right here that I can see. I don't have a demonstration for this one, but I still wanted to include it because I just thought it would be a really good teaching moment for you guys. Next. Last one we got here is a top coach who frequently shares workouts, and we've seen her workouts before. Let's watch. So it looks like she's trying to do a glute kickback with a resistance band, and she is not doing a very good job. There's a lot of issues with her execution of this. First off, she's not bending over far enough. I think we talked about this in a CPT reaction from a couple weeks ago. When you're doing glute kickbacks like this and you feel your lower back kind of straining or like burning a little more than it should, chances are you're probably not bending over far enough and you're probably standing too upright. She should really be leaning forward more and supporting her body on something. Her doing them like this, like just kind of floating on one foot, she's basically just doing a balancing act, and it's making her form really bad. And also good for her for not kicking her little mini, her little tiny Beachbody coach in training there. Don't kick your kids. I mean, I don't want to tell you how to raise your kids, but don't kick them. It's probably not good for them. Right? I don't know. I don't have kids. I will now demonstrate for you how to execute a glute kickback with a resistance band. So doing a glute kickback with a resistance band. This is the standing variation. I'm bent over, my chest is to the floor. I'm kicking up and out with my glute, clenching it as I go up. I do like this exercise, but because the resistance band can only offer so much resistance, I actually think it's better used as a warm-up. If the bands are all you have, then definitely include this in your glute routine. But if you are looking for serious glute growth, I definitely recommend training the glutes with heavier weight. And then this next clip is just a variation of me kneeling on the floor, hands and knees. This variation is probably easier on the lower back. If anybody out there has any lower back issues, I would recommend this variation if you choose to do glute kickbacks. In conclusion, I think I speak for all of us when I say, what in the actual flying spaghetti monster just because you buy the starter pack doesn't make you a coach. A fitness coach, a nutrition coach, a lifestyle coach, a social media coach, all that crap they love to say. And to the super trainers who are making these workouts, stop it. Okay? Stop it. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more related content. Really helps the channel out. If you didn't like it and you didn't like me, you can downvote it. That also helps. And if you didn't like me, why did you watch till the end? Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. What this little miss thing is doing. Sitting back there. Sitting back there with your little tongue out. What are you doing, Mama? What are you doing? Up. Oh, Mama. I feel like I'm completely channeling 90s vibes today. You see these earrings? Who had the gold earrings with their name in them when they were younger? I wanted these so bad, and I only wanted these because they were all the rage and everybody else had them. I think my parents got them for me when I was in high school. I have not worn these in like 15 years, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wear them. I'm gonna wear them for this YouTube video. These will not be linked below because they're my earrings. Who wants to say bye-byes? Who wants to say byes? Beautiful. Say byes. Byes. Bye.